Hey guys, welcome to Miss Davis Virtual Classroom of Excellence. This is a video to help my ESOL or ELL learners how to complete the assignment that's due for them called What a Cycle. I'm going to try and speak slow. It's hard for me, but I will try so that you can translate easier. But this is instructions and a breakdown of how to complete this assignment. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to click right here. It'll look different because this is the teacher version, but you're going to click the document. When it opens up, you then want to go in the corner right here, click Edit Document. You want to edit it in the browser. It's just a lot easier. If you want to download it, you can, but to submit it is a lot easier if you just edit it yourself. Okay, so they want to put their name right here. Okay. And then what they're doing is they're going to create a story about the experiences of one water droplet as it travels through the water cycle. They will try to write a story, and I know that's difficult to do in English. If they want, I'm going to show you different ways that they can write it where it helps them build their writing skills. You can write a story from the droplet's point of view, so you can use I, me, we, us, they. Okay, the goal is to try to get to 10 sentences. Okay, they can use a diagram of the water cycle for help. So they can go into Google. Okay, they can Google water cycle or water cycle diagram. And they can choose one of these to do and tell their story through the water cycle. So if they want to do, here's a really good one with the snow. Okay, here's a good one. Okay, so it has it all labeled for them. So they just have to tell the story. Okay, I'm going to start as a water droplet in the river or pond, whatever this is supposed to be. All right, I'm going to start off in the runoff as a droplet of water. Then I evaporate. All right, when I evaporate, I then condensate by changing forms into a cloud. And you just keep going through the story. So they can tell their story through one of these pictures. You just pick one. Whatever one works for them, whichever one they understand the best. There's a ton. If they want to tell it through a specific story, like with an animal, they can still use one of these pictures as long as it kind of matches up. So if they're not talking about an island, don't use this one. Or this, if they are talking about an island, this is a great one to use. If they're talking about a mountain, okay. If they're talking about a city, there are just tons that they can use that will relate back or correlate back to their story. I like to think of the diagram as a way to help them use their key terms. Also, it's a great way to use it as an outline. Okay, where's my story going, here's where it starts, here's where it ends. It starts here, ends here. That's just a great way to kind of keep yourself on track. So pick a picture and tell a story around it. If you want to add animals or plants or things to the picture in your story, that's fine. You don't need to find one that has everything exactly like your story. Just find a diagram that helps you. This is a great one. It's not even labeled, so you could label it yourself if you wanted to. Those are just options for you. I'm going to save this image. I like that image a lot. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so the diagram, you can use one from the internet, and it will help you write your story. So think of it as your outline. Okay, and then the other thing you're going to do, the state of water before transformation, after transformation. So what state is it changing into? Is it going from a liquid to a solid to a gas to a liquid to a gas? Like, what is it changing? Because every time it moves in the water cycle, it may change its state of matter. It may be a solid, liquid, or gas. It can change. Okay. All right. So where I recommend starting is don't start writing right away. Pick out your diagram and start writing your story after you pick that out. Okay. Then as you're writing your story, go back and add the transformations in there. Okay, I wrote it out step by step. I have all the steps of the water cycle. Then go back and add what the state was. Oh, here's where it changed from a solid to a gas. Here's where it changed to a liquid to a solid. Okay. Here's your rubric. So really try to get get these things, these 10 sentences, the diagram, and the states, so that you get at least a 60. Okay. Have fun with it. Make a creative title. You can check these off as you go. If you want to do that's what I did. If you want to do a smiley face, I'm fine with that. Okay, whatever you need to do to show that you did these as you went through. Okay, your diagram. First thing you should have done is got your diagram done. Water cycle step description. So it's moving from evaporation, precipitation. So another step description would be describing what an aquifer is, using those definitions, okay, in your own word as best as you can. Okay, state of water through each. Okay, so guiding questions. If you want to write it as a rap, I know some of you guys really like that. But at the same time, one line that's only "Hi, what's up?" that doesn't count as 10 sentences. That's not a sentence. Okay, so keep that in mind. Make sure it's going to be more than 10 things if you do a rap. Okay, so these are guiding questions to help you. I'm going to come back to this. So how do you begin your story? Start with your diagram. Okay, what is your diagram showing you? Where do you want to start your diagram? Where do you want to start as a water droplet? Okay, where are you going to go next? How long do you stay there? Oh, I am a water droplet in the ocean, and I'm going to stay in the ocean for 1,000 years. That's completely possible. And then I evaporate because I got close enough to shore. Whatever you want to tell, however you want to tell your story. Where did it go next and why? Did it change forms? So kind of going through these steps. If you want to keep doing this, and you want to bullet point it step by step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's fine if that works for you, as long as you're using your best sentences and you're answering each of these and you've gone through the entire step. Okay, so some terms that you might want to use include condensation. Okay, using some precipitation, so rain, snow, sleet, hail. Okay, other words you might want to use: watershed, aquifer, groundwater, water table. Oh, sorry, my dog. Hey, psst. Condensation, precipitation, evaporation. I probably should put that one over here. Precipitation, runoff. I'm missing one. Okay. Watershed, aquifer, groundwater, water table. I feel like I'm missing one. Transpiration, remember, that's for water that leaves leaves plants. Okay. So this is key vocab for you guys. Probably gonna put somewhere else. Because so these are. Oh, that's spelled right. Wait. No, it's not. Yay! See, everyone should have good grammar. The other thing I like about this too that I forgot to mention is you can dictate, and you can also change the language in here somewhere to help you if you need it. There is a way to change the language. I'm not sure how to do that, but I saw it up here where you could choose your language, and it'll change your language for you so you can see it and hopefully translate well. Okay. All right, so that's your key vocab term that you should kind of have, that you should try to mention. Again, if you use animals and things like that, you want to talk about it. That's great. That's encouraged. Again, you can get your diagram off the internet. Do not worry about the story. If it's easy for you to do it step by step, number by number, That's fine. If it's hard for you to write sentences, just make sure it makes sense. Okay, it started here, it changed its state of matter, and then went here. When it was here, it stayed here for this long, it changed its state and went here, or didn't change its state and went here. So there's a lot of different ways you can do this. Numbering it is fine, totally fine with that. If you want to try to write the story, kudos to you. You can definitely do that. Have some fun with it. I would like to share these stories with students, and I'd like ESOL students to be involved too. Um, I'm not sure if you write it in your language, if it'll translate back to English so I can understand it. But we can try it. We can see if you send it to me and then it translate. I'm not, again, you're not getting grammar and spelling is not counted against you at all. Okay, so you automatically get 2 points. Okay, so as long as you try to do this, it's pretty hard to fail. So if you guys need any help, if you get stuck, here are some guiding questions. Where did the water droplet go on its journey? Okay, what did it see? What adventures did it have? Did it feel different at different times? So that's when it's transforming, when it's changing form. Oh, I felt really hot, so I changed into a water vapor. I was a liquid and I turned into a vapor because I got hot. So that's ways that you can word and personify your water droplet. Did the drop meet any plants, animals, or people? Okay, how did the water droplet help them? How long did the drop take? Okay, I'm actually going to move this down here so this might look different to you guys. All right, so this is a story all about how my life got switched, turned upside down. Don't steal that because that's from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Hashtag 90s baby. All right, it should not look like that when you do this. It's just an example, okay? Best you can if you want to do it. Step 1, step 2, water droplet, evaporated, okay, or rained, just you can do your best. I know you're limited in your ability with English, so whatever works for you. If you're somebody who is pretty new to English, you can do, I'm not going to call anybody out, but you can do the step-by-step. If you're somebody who feels really confident, test yourself, challenge yourself to write it in full sentences if you feel confident, because I'd love to share your stories and let you guys be a part of that because you're able to. Otherwise, if you have any question, guys, please don't hesitate to message me. Here's an example of what a D story would sound like. Hold on one second. Here's an example of the difference between an A assignment and a D assignment for you guys. One second, then we're Okay, so Olaf is right up until that point. Water does pass through other animals. So that's an example, okay? It was in the puddle, now it's in the animal, now it's back out of the animal. That's a story. That's that water droplets having a rough day. So Olaf is right, but where he's wrong is saying that water has memory. Okay, that's fantasy. That's taking away from the science of it. So make sure as you're being creative and you're being fun that it actually scientifically makes sense, like it could happen. Don't say that it's out in space and it comes to the earth. You could if you're doing the whole story of water, but don't make it hard for yourself. Keep it simple, okay? So Olaf would get an A up until he said water has memory, okay? Olaf would have gotten an A if he said that it went from a liquid to and it stayed a liquid. When it passes from animal to animal, it's staying in liquid form. That it is, it just moves from the animal to that's really not evaporation. Doesn't evaporate, doesn't rain. I guess you could say going to the bathroom is rain. You could say that. I wouldn't argue with you. It's not quite right, but it works. so you can see how you can take something from like Frozen 2 and make it into this assignment. So Olaf would have done great, but he would have gotten a D because he's missing major components that need to be done. Like he didn't talk about states of matter. He then got too fanciful with it and said that it has memory, which is not true. It's fun for the movie, but doesn't make sense. So make sure you're having fun with it, but not so much fun that it doesn't make sense, like in real life. And make sure you're adding those key components that you guys need to have. All right, again, if you guys have any questions, if you are struggling, please message me. I will help you as best as I can. Also, you can reach out to Miss Barnes. She has access to this assignment as well and this video. Okay, guys, best of luck. Again, don't hesitate, and hasta la pasta, meatballs.